You're such an asshole!
Hello all, hassleconsulting.com. Go there if you have any questions. We have a request from south of the border, down Mexico way. The young man writes, "Hey Aaron, I'd rather keep this as anonymous if possible. He's a young man working in an industrial city in Mexico. He has no children, he's single. He recently found the Manosphere, Make-Town Red Pill, and all that kind of stuff. Because of that, I stumbled onto your videos in YouTube. I want your opinion on some issues regarding my direction in life, since economics, girls, and business in general behave almost the same worldwide. I wish. Economics does, business, I don't know. Girls, definitely not. They're all over the place. I'm a mechatronics engineer with an equivalent 4 years degree of your school system. I'm making about the equivalent to $22,000 US dollars. For you, that might be very little, but in Mexico, that's a lot, since life is way cheaper compared to the United States or Canada. To have a reference, I live a comfortable life with a new car, nice home, on my own, no rent, no mortgage, nice clubs and restaurants once or twice a week, nice cell phone, nice clothes, and all the trinkets you suggest not to buy. And you can still save around $400 to $500 a month for retirements, and he has no debt." Yeah, so we're looking, I'd be like 55 grand or so here, and you just basically double it, a little bit more, based on your purchasing power you're talking about. So yeah, that's very good. You're kind of killing it down there. So right now I have about $15,000 in US dollars invested in Mexico's stock market. 80% in safe stocks, a 3 to 4% rate of return. 20% in risky stocks, 13 to 15% rate of return, but they can blow up to minus 20. I funded 2 engineering startups for recent graduates who decided to start their own business. I invested about $12,000 US dollars in each for the 40% of their companies. They might make it, or it may be lost money. They aren't making money yet since it's their first year. Also, I keep investing those $400-ish dollars. I keep investing those $400-ish dollars in stuff like that. So per month. All right. First question: should I keep it this way? Should I keep it all in the stock market? Should I fund more startups like this? Should I start my own and bet on myself? Well, let's address that one right away. Because even though the U.S. stock market and the Mexican stock market are not the same, it's a global phenomenon where you have not just the United States, but the Bank of Japan, China, Europe, European Central Bank, Bank of England. All the central banks are printing off money, and it's flooding the world's stock market. So there's kind of like, it's not as bad as, say, in the United States, but it's still a little bubbly down there as well. And on top of that, I really just don't like the concept of stocks, because it's like, what, are you going to make a ton of money off of them? Is there a real capitalistic opportunity? I know if like the stock market crashes, maybe you go in and buy. But when they launch a stock or a stock is sold, they do an analysis, whoever buys it on the IPO, or if they resell it. It's like they've done their analysis. So there's not a lot of great opportunity for profits. Now, this doesn't mean you don't invest. And for your diversification, I don't know. It really is dependent upon you. It looks like you're pretty risk averse, like you don't like taking too much risk. That's why you have 80% of your money in the safe stocks. The theory is the younger you are, you could probably have a little bit more risky stuff. You don't have any bonds, so maybe you want to diversify a little bit into bonds. But here's the other thing. You have your house paid off and you have no debt, so you could afford to be a little bit risky. Now, what I do like is, in terms of your investment, is you're going to invest in entrepreneurship, because that's where you really are going to make money. Now, of course, you're going to lose the majority of money because the vast majority of businesses fail. So you're going to have a very high risk loss there, but you almost got to treat it like gambling, because that's what you're doing. But I think I'm not against you throwing a couple $100 here, a couple $1,000 there to go ahead and take some positions. But the ultimate form of entrepreneurship is yourself, and we'll talk about a little bit later here, where you want to start this school. I think you should be investing in yourself, and not fucking GE or the S&P 500 or fucking Carlos's Slims outfit or his cement company or whatever he's got down there. I think you should definitely be investing in yourself, especially if you're younger, because now you have the time to fail. And as long as you do it right, you're not borrowing millions of dollars, and you don't risk yourself, or you set up a company to legally separate yourself from the company, so you personally don't go for bankruptcy. I think absolutely you should be pursuing entrepreneurship, because that is it's not just the money, but it's the freedom, and you get to run your business how you want. I know a couple people who they've started their businesses and now they want to sell them, they want to get out, and they're going to make a couple of million off of it, and that's great. And they weren't as excited as they thought they were going to be running these companies. But in either case, as opposed to just getting your 10 or 15% a year in dividends or whatever, you're going to get ideally a higher rate of return. And then 2, you'll be your career. 3, you'll have ultimate freedom and not be answering to anyone. So I would definitely be. I would change your portfolio at all. I mean, your weight between risky and conservative stocks, that's up to you. I mean, you look pretty risk averse. It's fine the way I wouldn't worry too. Maybe get some fixed income or precious metals to diversify it a little bit more. But I would then start looking at you or other entrepreneurs out there and say, okay, can I make this money? What kind of rate of return can I get my money? I mean, this is why I paid Davis Arini to go ahead and read my book. Bachelor Pad Economics, because the $1,000 I put down was going to provide a 20% rate of return a month. So that's where the real money is, and I'd say you definitely start looking at that. First question: should I keep it this way? Keep it on a startup? Okay, so you answered that round. Right now, okay. Second point here. Right now, I'm looking to get a master's degree in Germany or maybe the United States. There are some nice scholarships around, but that would put on hold my career in Mexico and my income. That aside, for extra cash, I was thinking about doing some sort of translation and adding my experience of the Manosphere and making a blog and a YouTube channel of this in Spanish for all the that's brilliant. I think that's brilliant. There's no risk. There's no startup costs for you, except for some time and maybe some hosting costs based on yours, Rouge's, Salmon, etc. I don't want to say that North America and Europe are doomed, but in this country, patriarchy still got some ground to defend. My sister and a lot of girls are feminists and SJWs. So yeah, it's going all over the place. There's not going to be the West may go down first, but everyone else is coming with us. Yes, this goes back to your first question about entrepreneurship. I think that's a great idea. Absolutely. You may make more money off of this just translating stuff into Spanish. Obviously, keep yourself anonymous. You wouldn't want to be telling anybody that, or you definitely would not be able to get employed. So I would totally. Call your name Aaron Clary or Aaron Clario. Just do not have your real name or your face or anything out there like that. And when you register a domain, read Matt Forney's book, Confessions of an Online Hustler. There's some good stuff there before you get yourself an internet presence. Second question, should I stay here and do that master project or should I pursue the master's degree? Well, then I asked you what your master's degree you're thinking about, and you said andragogy. 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 So I had to look that up, and that meant the study of the education of adults. And you said, "Yeah, I'm going to kick your ass." Yes, I am going to kick your ass. No, don't do that. You don't need that. What else were you thinking about? Oh, those are my questions. Let's get to your answers up here. There it is. Yeah, and then you're looking at mechanic design, andragogy, and mechanic design. No, dude, I would not. No, you're wasting 2 years of your time for a degree that's worthless, and you're not going to learn anything that you can't figure out through common sense or maybe picking up a book on management. There's no reason for you to spend 2 years of your life. I don't even care if the Mexican government pays for it and you get a tuition. That's time you're not going to get back, and. If your business ventures fail, what are you going to do with those degrees? Mechanic design, I guess I don't know why you get a master's in that when you just go get a certification, when you take a couple of drafting classes. I don't know, I'm not in the field, but that seems more of a trade, not something you'd go to the University of Berlin to go get. Should I stay or should I pursue the master's? Yeah, so I wouldn't pursue the master's degree. You talked about your business. I don't want to mention what it is. I think it's a good idea. If you do it right, like I said, you might have to raise some money for it. I'm trying not to identify you so people don't know who you are. But that's definitely better than going and get your master's degree in andragogy, whatever it was. And finally, women. I wasn't bad with women, but now after learning about the red pill and the manosphere and all that stuff, I'm quite better, but I've lost a bit of focus on my objectives. Last question, should I keep dating girls nonstop and fuck the brains out of them? Or should I look for a long-term relationship? Or should I keep a MGTOW lifestyle and focus on my stuff? I say you should do all three. I know, not even necessarily Sam Man, but the MGTOW purists or the virgin towels would say you can't go MGTOW and be dating a girl. That's bullshit. If you want to date a girl, that's what you're doing. You're going your own way. You can go ahead and date a girl. It's just she doesn't live or dictate or tell you what to do. So when I say doing all three, here's how every person, not just men, but every person, male or female, should live their lives. You go do what you want to do. You go live your life, and you will become this interesting person in your own right. You'll become a great engineer that you are. You'll become a great entrepreneur. And taking that path in life, not only will you not waste your time, you'll make money, you'll invest in yourself, you'll have an interesting life, but you will meet the right type of people along the way. Like, going to a nightclub is dumber than fuck. I mean, now, most people aren't going to nightclubs anymore, but back in the 90s, you go to a nightclub. Why? Because that's where the girls were. But what type of girls are going to be at this nightclub? You see, you're chasing the girls, and I don't think I had one successful relationship or date come out with a girl that I ever met at a nightclub. I might have, but I met much more quality women doing things I like to do. Ballroom dancing, motorcycling, although there's not a ton of women. They're all typically older if they are riding bikes. So you go and you say you like jiu-jitsu. Well, that's male dominant, but you might meet a girl there. You go and you take this class on some kind of drafting design or AutoCAD, and all of a sudden you meet another girl there who's kind of got similar interests. It's going through life the way you want it that you're going to find people that you want to meet, and will also in turn want to meet you. So I would not chase after girls at clubs or bars. I would go do my own thing, but I also would not throw them away. Like, if there's a hot chick, yes, fucking, of course. And you're going to have dumb girls, and you're going to have smart girls, and you're going to have nice girls, and you're going to have mean girls, and you're going to have hot girls, and you're going to have not so hot girls. Just bang everyone you can, as long as you wrap it up, and make sure she doesn't sperm jack you or anything. You go have fun, you have as much sex as you want with all the girls, and then if there's a girl that you really like, absolutely. I see, because I asked if you want to have a family and kids. You said yes. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. And then we talked a little bit about how that might be a bit of a challenge down in Mexico as feminism is increasing and the social justice warriors and all that. But you're going to stand a heck of a lot better shot finding a traditional wife down there than you are up here. Anyway, if you want to get married and have kids, do that. Now, you know, obviously listening and reading the Manosphere and the Red Pill and the MGTOW community, you know all the risks that are involved in that. So, you know, you're no spring chicken. I mean, you're a younger man, but it's not like you're 18, fresh off the assembly line, getting your ass kicked. So you know what to look out for. You know how to play it cool. Date her, long time, get to know, right? Get to know, say, all right, how's this go? Okay, all right. But if you find the right, absolutely, go ahead, get married, have kids. There's nothing wrong with that. I gotta update myself on Mexico's finances. They're a lot better than the United States. Of course, I think you guys defaulted on your debts like in the 70s or something. But ironically, both in terms of economics and because of culture, I think Mexico would probably be a better place to have a stable nuclear family than I would, say, the United States. Thanks for attending. Let me just... I had a couple other questions for you. We covered your investments. You want to have kids. Oh, and then the other thing, I want to know how much free time you had. And you have about 2 to 3 hours a day. Yeah, you're going to have to triage and prioritize things that are most important to you. Right now, you're doing very well. If you're making $55,000 roughly for purchasing power in the United States, you have no debt, all this other stuff. You don't want to give that up. I mean, you're doing a lot of people in the world live a lot worse lives than you. Even in the United States. So I would not necessarily be taking huge gambles that would maybe ruin this great life you already have. So, you know, keep your wild entrepreneurial investments to, you know, something that you can afford to lose. But then the real issue you're going to have is with all this stuff going on is your time. You only have 2 to 3 hours a day and weekends. So you got to find, all right, what do you want to do? Do you want to set up that business that you were talking about? That's going to take a lot of doing. That'll take a lot of doing. And you certainly you don't have time. You would have to quit your job to go and get a master's degree. That would be worthless. So don't even do that. I would start looking at your time. There's even books out there on how to like organize time and be much more efficient. Maybe eke out another 4 to 5 hours per day. And then find out what, you know, is there a personal investment? Like 2 to 3 hours a day? 2 of that would be easily eaten up, becoming the Spanish Manospherian. That's there's the title, The Spanish Manospherian. Sounds like a really lame superhero. The Spanish Manospherian, help us. And it's like he just kind of come in, ¿qué pasa? Nah. So you're only going to have time to try one thing at a time. Not to mention you want to try to keep a social life as well. So yeah, just try your hand at things that make the most sense, are most economic, and also try and find out if they're going to be feasible or not very quickly. Like when I did Silver Dollar Bikini, that was started and ended within a month because I tried it, trial ran it. I'm like, nah, this isn't going to work, and then I ended it. So I didn't waste. You get these idiots, they try and make a failing restaurant work for 6 years, and they go into bankruptcy and they borrow money from their family. You don't want to do that. You want to find out quickly because you don't have all the time in the world. So anyway, I hope that helps out. You ever come up this side, say hello, stop in, say hi to everybody. And if you do start up that Spanish Manospherian thing, please let us know. You get the contact with Rouge, Sandman, all those guys. I'm sure they would definitely be on board with that. Toodles.